guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Ashley and today's video is going to be another TTC update. Sorry if you can hear like the AC or the fans going. It is way too hot to not have either one of them on. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm in a new spot. I am at my dad's house babysitting, and I thought I would take this time while he was napping to film my video that I've been needing to film and just haven't had the chance to. So I'm going to take this time, film it, and update you guys on what's going on. So in my last TTC update video, I showed you the progesterone pills that I was taking or going to start taking, and the birth control and metformin pills I was going to be taking, and then I was going to let you guys know what was going on. So I started taking my progesterone pills, I think June 25th, and I had to take these for 10 days, 1 tablet per day. I had to take those progesterone pills for 10 days, and it was 1 tablet per day. And if you see me looking down, I have all of my notes written down just so I know that like I'm not gonna forget anything. So I stopped taking my progesterone pills on July 6th, and I didn't really like have any like side effects or anything. It didn't do anything to me. So it was an easy 10 days. It took forever, but other than that, it was okay. I started spotting on July 8th, which was 2 days after I stopped taking the progesterone pills. And obviously while I was taking those pills, I was like researching to see how long usually it would take for me to start my period after the pills. And a lot of the things that I found, like a lot of women were saying that it took them 2 days or it took them 10 days after they stopped taking the progesterone pills for them to start their period. So I kept thinking, I don't want to wait 10 days to start my period. But I got lucky, and 2 days after I stopped taking the pills on July 8th, I started spotting like late in the evening, and I was so excited. Like I remember coming out of the bathroom and telling Javier like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start my period. But I actually geez, my hair. I actually started my period on July 9th. It was a regular period. Maybe my cramps were a little harsher than usual, but nothing like I was too concerned with. It lasted 7 days. My period stopped on July 14th. Just kidding. It was only like 5 days. So, which honestly, anytime I'm on my period, if you hear any noises, it's because my dad's dogs are over here. But anyways, anytime that I'm on my period, when I'm lucky enough to even get my period, they're between 3 to 5 days. And I've had times where they're longer, obviously, but on an average, they're only 3 to 5 days long. So I was told by my doctor, this is Rex, by the way. He's a lovely dog. Ooh. And this is Tonka. Okay. No more. Go this way. Go this way. Go. Dog hair everywhere. Bad day to wear black. Anyways, my doctor told me that once I'm off my period the Sunday, like the first Sunday that comes up. I need to start taking the birth control and the metformin, and luckily enough, my last day of my period was on a Saturday. So then the next day I was able to start taking the metformin and the birth control. So that was awesome. Also, I forgot to mention that my doctor also told me that on my first day of my period, I needed to call and schedule an HSG test. Now, I have no idea how to even begin to pronounce the actual name of this test, but I'll leave it down below here and you guys can attempt it. But basically, it's just a test where they will run dye through your fallopian tubes and check if there's any blockages. I've never had one of these done before, so I kind of didn't know what to expect, so I obviously, being the person that I am, Googled it or YouTubed it. I think for a little bit I was nervous to actually do the test, but then the actual day of the test I was more nervous of like what my results would be, so I was starting to freak out a little bit. My HSG test was scheduled for July 18th, so it was pretty nice that like everything just kind of was like boom 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 and like just happening one after another. So basically what happened that day was I went in and my mom came with me, thankfully, and I had to do the test at the hospital, not the actual like OB office, like where my doctor's office is. I actually had to make the appointment at the hospital through like the radiology department. So my mom and we go to the hospital. I had to go like register first, and then once I was done registering, they showed me and my mom where we needed to go next. So I had to go and take a blood test, which I had to do a pregnancy test, make sure I wasn't pregnant before I did the HSG test. So I probably waited there for over 30 minutes, like, I don't know, almost an hour maybe, for the results to come back. Obviously they came back not pregnant, which I knew that it wasn't going to come back positive. That would have been cool, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. So once my test came back negative for being pregnant, one of the nurses came out and brought me to the room that I was supposed to go to. Unfortunately, my mom was not allowed to go in the room with me, which sucked, but it would have been nice to have her in there. But the nurse that I had was awesome, like super nice, made me feel super comfortable. But she takes me into this room and she makes me take everything off from my waist down, except for socks, thank gosh. And so I had to put one of those like, hospital gowns on that tie in the back. And when I was done dressing and all of that, I went out and there's like this big long bed with like this giant like x-ray thing basically that hovers over the bed, and she kind of went over how things were gonna go. The doctor came in and I had to obviously lay down on my back, and then I had my legs on those thingies, which I hate putting my legs on there. First of all, I don't like that, but whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do. So basically what the doctor did was he inserted a like teeny tiny catheter into my uterus and then like blew up a balloon, and then he took the solution and they described it to me as like syrup, like it was clear and super sticky, I guess. But let me just tell you how painful that was. Like, oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. Even just like the pressure of the little tiny catheter going in, like that. Okay, sorry about that. He woke up from his nap, so I'm just gonna kind of talk quietly and kind of just hurry this along. I'm trying to remember where I was. Basically, the whole time that they were pushing the solution through my fallopian tubes hurt like a son of a, like, holy crap. Like, the nurse kept telling me that, like, she's here to hold my hand, blah blah blah, but like basically I held my own hand like this, and I mean, it just freaking hurt. And it didn't even take that long, like 3 minutes, even from him inserting the catheter and then kind of letting me know like what's gonna happen next. So it didn't take that long, but holy crap did that hurt. Like, that hurt so bad. Was not expecting that whatsoever. But when I was done, he like let me sit up and he showed me the x-ray pictures. And first of all, I don't know why, but I kind of pictured like the fallopian tubes like in the x-ray being bigger, but they're like smaller than a freaking thing of spaghetti, like in that picture anyways. But unfortunately my left fallopian tube is completely blocked. Like, none of the solution even went through my fallopian tube. And like during the whole part of him like getting the solution to go through my tubes, he asked me if I had any like pelvic surgeries, but I guess I just like didn't think anything of it because I just like wanted it to hurry up and be over with. But my right tube is completely open, like there's nothing wrong with it, there's no blockings, nothing. So I mean, do I wish that both of my fallopian tubes were open? Of course. But am I grateful that at least one of them is completely open? Absolutely. I mean, I can still get pregnant. What I think is why it's taking so long for me and Javier to get pregnant is obviously a combination of having PCOS and then me only technically having one fallopian tube, so it just makes things a little bit harder, unfortunately. But it doesn't completely mean that I'm not gonna ever get pregnant. It just means it's just gonna take some time, which Javier and I have already been trying for 2 years. So I mean, we're okay with it. We're taking the right steps now to getting us to be able to start a family. Like I've said in all of my other TTC update videos, like I am so grateful for my new doctor, because I mean, I've already just figured out so many things within this last month, whereas I've had my other doctor for over a year and nothing happened. She never wanted to take the steps that were necessary to freaking help me. So I'm so happy that I was recommended this doctor. as far as like what's gonna happen now, I'm not 100% sure. My next doctor's appointment is in August, and I think it's like the 21st or something. But all I'm gonna do right now is take my birth control and the metformin, which, by the way, has been pretty good. I think the only thing that I don't like about the metformin is I have to go to the bathroom an awful lot, not pee. I've heard that it can make you really thirsty. I haven't really noticed that. I'm not more thirsty, but anytime I eat, give it like 5 minutes and I have to go to the bathroom. So sorry if that's TMI, but I mean, oh well. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on the last 2 weeks, I think. If I find out like any other information or whatever, I will update you guys as soon as possible, hopefully before my appointment in August, because that's kind of like a long ways away. But as of right now, I take my birth control and my metformin, and then I go in August to kind of just update my doctor. I'm sure he already knows about my HSG test, and I'm sure we'll talk about it when I go in next time. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoy my TTC update videos. I'm starting to be more excited about these just because I'm getting somewhere with everything. But I'll leave it at that, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please make sure you do before you leave. Give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.